politics. But if each of us tonight thought about even the last hour that we spent at the last day of our job and took that $10, $20, $50 or whatever we make an hour and put it back to work instead for, to support this work, to support African liberation, the right of African people to resist, to work for this, we'd raise, like $500 whatever tonight. So, make the money that we have access to work for this organization and, for the future that we heard all of our panelists talk about tonight. So, and I also want to make a donation myself. So I see that's going around. I just want to call back up Chairwoman Penny Hess to facilitate the discussion tonight. Great, Uhuru.
I want to bless the donation. The basket. No, what I wanted to do is say that this is a very significant convention that we're having. And Comrade Diop Olugbala is a very important leader in our movement. And what our project is in terms of InPDUM. InPDUM was formed as an organization to defend the rights of the African community against the counterinsurgency, things like that. For years, that was its basic posture, even though we were out on the streets and demonstrating, so it was defensive. Now what we're saying is the posture of InPDUM is offensive. It is to push forward the struggle for national liberation. It is not just defending against this or against that. It is to present a revolutionary national democratic program, the objective of which is to win the African population and everybody else to recognize this as the program of freedom for our people. It is designed, in the final analysis, to really spark resistance. That we see the re-emergence of Jomo as being a factor, even though we shall redefine how resistance was understood, like in the 1960s, because we are talking about national liberation as opposed to simply protesting injustice, even as opposed to simply confrontation with the state, where I say there's going to be a lot more confrontation, but it is going to be a confrontation that functions as, in part, to begin to construct dual power. That is to say, to construct, power or state power in the hands of African people, even as we engage them. That is to say, we will deal with economic issues, economic questions, right, and constructing the ability to generate some kind of political economy that even stretches across the globe and connects with other Africans as well, but do things in this country as well. Some of that will be at least minimally introduced at the convention that we're going to be having in February as well. But I just want to make the point that InPDUM is taken off in a different way under the leadership of President Diop Olugbala, who we feel has a good sense of the pulse of the African community that wants to resist, who we feel is one of our new bold leaders, willing to help move the struggle in this period, etc. And also, that is one of the reasons why it is going to be important to keep Diop out of prison, because the state has recognized him as playing this role as well. Not, he becomes a symbol, for the resistance of African people, not just in general terms, but the resistance in these times. Because we've had political prisoners and do have political prisoners that we've spoken about up to now. But that was political prisoners during another era, during a struggle against imperialism and colonialism as it represented itself at this time. This time we have a political prisoner in this era of Obama, in this era of neo-colonialism right here, in this era of emerging resistance against an imperialism that is in crisis, and it's extremely important that Diop is kept on the ground. So that's going to be a major task that we're involved in, and also to support the struggle for national liberation, resistance of a nationally oppressed, occupied nation. Uhuru.